Well, the much anticipated Shannon Sharpe, Joe Rogan, no, wait, actually, Shannon Sharpe podcast with Kamala Harris dropped yesterday, and it was an unmitigated disaster. The video receiving six-figure dislikes in just 12 hours. Now, I will say the video did get far more views than her appearance on Call Her Daddy or whatever it was, but overall, it was an unmitigated disaster, receiving 109,000 dislikes to just 38,000 likes. Now, that is a good amount of likes. This is about as friendly of a podcast slash audience that this individual could have gone on. Shannon Sharpe is a well-documented ball washer for the Democrat Party. He asked zero hard questions. Now, again, Joe Rogan didn't really ask a bunch of hard questions either. He asked a little bit about the election and things like that. But, Shannon Sharpe is not a journalist. He's a podcast guy. He was meant to endear Kamala Harris into the largely black viewership that he has. It's 6 days before the election, and they're still trying to convince black folks that Kamala is black and that's the only thing they need to know about her to vote for her. It is wildly insulting. Obviously, this may come as a shock to you, but I'm in fact not black. I'm also not Indian. If I were, and I would see this level of pandering and this level of disrespect where they're like, yo, don't worry about her policies. Just vote for her because her skin color is the same as you. It is wildly insulting. And we're going to get into all these hilarious clips right after a super quick word from this video's sponsor, Private Internet Access. Shout out to this video's sponsor, Private Internet Access. Look, it's 2024. If you aren't using a VPN yet, you're completely missing out. And Private Internet Access is the one I use on all of my devices. If you've been following the news, you see that censorship, websites, apps are getting shut down in certain countries, all sorts of craziness. Well, a VPN helps you never have to worry about that. Private Internet Access also protects you from the prying eyes of hackers, internet service providers, and others that can view your personal data. Perhaps also just as importantly, Private Internet Access allows you to access region-restricted content from all over the world. Streaming services like Netflix, Amazon Prime, and more have different library options based on where you're located, and some shows simply cannot be accessed if you're not in the target location. Happens to me all the time. Many sports events also have regional blackouts. Well, VPNs can be a convenient way to make sure you're getting the content that you're paying for. Private Internet Access also allows you to protect an unlimited amount of devices all at the same time, so your entire household with a single subscription. And I've been working with Private Internet Access so long that I have an absolutely massive discount available to my viewers. Link in the description below. Get Private Internet Access today using my link. Save huge, protect your computers, access all the content that you've been paying for, and ensure that your internet is never censored. If you don't have VPN yet, make sure you get it, especially before election time. And they've got a special discount for all my viewers. Now, here is the podcast. It currently has 38,000 likes. I should probably put it on the screen, and 109,000 dislikes. This is wild. The fact that it even, again, to compare this to similarly popular episodes of the Club Shay Shay, okay? Let's look at, John Legend completely tanked because he's also another Democrat ball washer. Here's Fat Joe that has 1.3 million views to Kamala's 900,000 views. By the way, sponsored by Call of Duty. Very interesting to me. So let's see. Fat Joe. Hello. 29,000 views and 29,000 likes and 1,000 dislikes. So only marginally more likes than a standard episode of Club Shay Shay, and it also received 110,000 dislikes. Is the others. Now again, this is a show that is not for me. This is a podcast that is largely targeting the black community. They cover a lot of black culture issues and things like that. If you look at it, maybe he gained some subscribers. No, he did not. Joe Rogan interviews Donald Trump gains 500,000 subscribers. Shannon Sharpe interviews Kamala Harris and does not gain one single subscriber. He may have lost them. It's difficult to know. I think it's, what is it, Powerful JRE, I think. He has now gained, 500,000 and counting subscribers from interviewing Donald Trump. And that episode now has, just in comparison to Kamala Harris. Now, obviously, the, Shannon Sharpe podcast is only 1/5 the size of Joe Rogan, or maybe even 1/10. But this episode is now the third most popular viewed episode in Joe Rogan history, just 1 million views shy of the second most popular. Now, there is some hidden Elon Musk episode that has like 60 million views, but as way is sorted here, 38 million views in 3 days. Call it 4 by tonight at 9 o'clock. So it'll be the number 2 episode on his channel by 9 o'clock in just 4 days. That other episode's been out for years. This has 1.8 million likes to 40,000 dislikes. So that's not a nothing amount of dislikes, 40,000, but 2 million likes compared to, again, Club Shay Shay receiving 100,000. So Donald Trump went on Club Shay Shay. I'm sorry, on Joe Rogan, and has more dislikes than Kamala Harris has likes. But this is wild. People just hate this individual, and it's because of the things they say. Kamala now claims that Trump will terminate the Second Amendment, but she'll protect our Second Amendment rights. I've never seen anything like this level of desperation. Truly astonishing.
Unreasonable search and seizure. Your Fifth Amendment right. Your Sixth Amendment right to an attorney.
Well, a lot of rights going to be gone. The First Amendment.
But the First Amendment, the Second Amendment. Yes. Look, I'm in favor of the Second Amendment. I don't believe we should be taking anybody's guns away. He wants to terminate the Constitution of the United States.
What? Literally what? And then this is where it gets wildly insulting. Kamala Harris says black men need to vote for her because Donald Trump will take their weapons away. You can't make this up. I mean, again, Shannon Sharpe is a Democrat ball washer. He was paid. He was on the take here, obviously, at least from Call of Duty, to try and humanize this evil woman, and it failed miserably.
Blacks for Trump. They feel that Trump is better for the black community. Can you explain Donald Trump's history with blacks? Where did this come that all of a sudden, I mean, it's been like this because a lot of people.
Gee, I wonder why. Is this Shannon Sharpe telling other black people to get in line?
He used to say, I'm Donald Trump of the ghetto, because he was, I mean, for a lot of blacks, not all, but for some blacks, he was, Madam VP, whether we want to admit it or not, he's revered by some blacks.
But here's the thing. The question for everybody, should he be president of the United States?
Okay.
Yes.
Right? That's the question. Should he have the ability to sit behind the seal of the president of the United States when he says he wants to terminate the Constitution of the United States?
He doesn't want to terminate the Constitution. She's literally making this up.
You know what that would mean? In the Constitution of the United States is your Fourth Amendment right against unreasonable search and seizure.
Says the DA that put blacks in jail for a dime bag. I mean, this is perhaps Shannon Sharpe should be embarrassed selling out his own audience to this level of lying. I mean, look, again, you see Kamala Harris is losing many black voters. Her plan to win them back in the final week, break out a fake black accent with Shannon Sharpe.
So, part of what we have to help people understand is don't think you're in Donald Trump's club. You're not.
Right.
He's not going to be thinking about you. You think he's having you over for dinner?
Why? Why wouldn't he? Didn't he kick it with like Al Sharpton and all those guys? I mean, the idea, then again, obviously, Shannon Sharpe admits that many black folks revere Donald Trump and ask Kamala why she should vote for them. Kamala hilariously responds that Trump will take away their Second Amendment right. I'm not joking. She seriously says the Second Amendment she's the Second Amendment protector in this race. Shannon Sharpe interviewing Kamala Harris is probably some sort of, I don't really know, insulting guy or I watched Shannon Sharpe x Kamala Harris interview with an open mind. I got nothing from it other than the regular script. Fear Trump, vote for me because I'm black and a Democrat. Well, I mean, that's been the entire MO. You see, Kamala's interview with Shannon Sharpe has amassed 261,000 views in 4 hours with a ratio of 27,000 dislikes to just 18,000 likes. The comment section is having a field day. The children of the community are better than the community. She's dropping her greatest hits today. This is one interview you should have kept. Skied up. I was raised in a middle-class family and been unburdened by what has been burdened by what's to come. Tell me how she's Christian, grew up Hindu, and was celebrating Kwanzaa. Shannon Sharpe, what's your plan to address this going forward? Kamala, my plan is to do what we need to do. What? So Cat Williams is 1,000% correct. You have an allegiance to losers, Shannon. She did this thinking she would get cat numbers. So the black community, his own viewership. Now, obviously, I'm sure there's lots of pro-Trump people in the comments trolling. But, you know, I promise I didn't watch a second of this interview, but went right to the comments. Shannon did an interview and then went and voted for Trump. She wanted to say raised in a middle-class family so bad. You know, I mean, I think ultimately the whole thing, this is one of the least likable people on the planet. And don't get it, don't mistake what I'm saying. I almost did a Kamala and said, don't get it twisted. This is a very close election. This is if everybody watching this video agrees that Kamala Harris is terrible and you haven't voted yet, please check when your state allows early in-person voting and go vote. Or vote on election day, that's fine, but go early, okay? Go early at least. Anti-Vice President Kamala Harris and Unc Shannon Sharpe, full conversation. Sponsored by Activision, globalist company. You see, remember in the video, she says don't call her auntie because she's Indian. I just know you didn't ask anything worth asking. Here's a black guy saying this. No one will listen. A whole bunch of glazing, I'm sure. I thought about listening, but then I remembered I grew up in a middle-class family. She's a moron. Again, I don't expect Shannon Sharpe to ask hardball questions, okay? But I mean, here's an example of what you got.
So breakfast, what does Madam VP eat for breakfast, or do you have time to, or is
I thought she eats no for breakfast, Shannon. Shannon Sharpe's podcast with Kamala just premiered, and she's getting cooked in the comment section. Trump mentions her name all the time, but she can't do the same. Borders are on point. Preach, L, blah, blah, blah. Kamala, come drop that neck over here. Like, she didn't do that. Trump did that. You know, black unemployment at an all-time high. I would assume that the black community is showing out for these comments, showing out for Shannon Sharpe's podcast and absolutely roasting this idiot. And you absolutely love to see it. Make sure you vote Donald J. Trump early. Bring a friend, bring a family member. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave a like on it. If you haven't yet, subscribe or follow down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon.